one of my connections, his uncle, no, his cousin, his cousin had this house. It was a mansion. And it was gorgeous, gorgeous, like gorgeous. Very impressed with it. Very nice. Good, good, good. But the the road leading up to the mansion, okay, it's not funny. It's just it, I don't understand why. Okay, so you're able to afford, and all of the people that lived on that road were able to afford like these gorgeous mansions, mini mansions. I love it. I love to see everyone doing well. I do. I believe that that's God's will for everyone to do well, especially if you're on the continent. You should be doing well because it's a continent and there's so many resources there. But why, if you live in a mansion, would you not pave your road? Like, why is your road full of potholes and dirt roads? And like, I don't understand. Like, that's a disconnect for me. So, and again, I understand that it's a work in progress. I get it. You know, a lot of people are saying that they're saying the same, they've been saying the same thing for years, and the politicians are saying that they're going to, fix the roads. Right. But if they're saying the same thing for years, why are you still voting for them? Like, make them work for, they work for you. Like, you pay their salaries. I assume that the taxes pay their salaries. The same here. So if they're not doing what they're supposed to do as far as the infrastructure, stop voting for them. Hold them to a standard, you know? So I said all of that just to say that some people are doing really well. Like, my friends or my connections cousin, he's in the oil business, so he's doing well. Um, but around him doesn't look well. Like, his house is gorgeous, but around him doesn't look well. Um, so for the diaspora women, if you took if he was single, which he's not, if he took a woman to his house, she would be asking the same things that I'm asking, like, why, like, you live in this beautiful home, it's gated, it's like, it's gorgeous, but why don't you take the initiative to work with your neighbors and build your road? Like, pave it. It shouldn't be that much. Like, if all of you can afford mansions and mini mansions, you all can band together and fix your roads so that when you're driving up to your houses, your car is not your car is not going to get injured because it hits a pothole, or heaven forbid you should be coming at night where because there's no street lights either, but that's, um and say you had a few drinks. Not that I'm condoning drinking or anything like that, but people are gonna do what they're gonna do.
By the way, we need to have this conversation. We need to talk. We
Yeah,
need to talk about this because this is the conversation that between uh, Africans at home and Africans in the diaspora. Let's
yeah.
talk. Let's gist. Let's try to understand each other. What do we feel about each other? No,
Hmm.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Now, apart from that, what other feeling do you think really exists between Africans at home and Africans in the diaspora? Apart from that disconnect that you already made mention of, and also have given example, which of course, yeah, that actually can be expanded to cover some certain area, but it's okay. I just leave it there so we can progress.
One is the financial disconnect. Another thing is that, like the example that I used with the guy from the French African nation, proposing marriage and, his love. And it's been a couple. So is that African men move really fast. emotionally or in their commitment to wanting a relationship to go further fast. So, and that kind of scares some, excuse me, diaspora off because because they're not used to. I think they're used to Black men or men in the diaspora, in the countries that they're from, not acting like that. Like they get to know you. Like they take their time. Some of them do get involved sexually, like fast. But with African men, it just seems like they're they move extremely fast, very fast, emotionally. And I asked a couple of my friends who are on the continent about that, and they said that they both said the same thing. So I so I think this might be just the frame of mind that African men have, is that the diaspora think too much on relationships or about relationships instead of just following their heart, which is what the two African men told me, is that Africans follow their heart. When they meet someone and they feel that connection, they don't need to overthink it. They don't need to, meet everybody. They don't need to like get to know you more. They don't need to, they just know like in their heart that this is the person for me. This is the, like I've met my wife, I've met my, person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And that there's a disconnect with that because the diaspora don't move that fast. Like we don't. we don't. We don't. Yes, we might overthink things. Maybe they're right about that, but I don't think it's so much that we're overthinking it. I mean, we can be attracted to someone, but we want to get to know that person. We don't want it just to be, okay, he's handsome, he's, got a nice build, he's intelligent, he's got a lot of things going for himself, but we also want to know, like, who are you? You know, like that saying that I gave you earlier, unless two be agreed, how can they walk together? Like, are we going to be in agreement? Do we have things in common? It can't be like like one of my friends, when I was there, had so much fun with him in Ghana, and he introduced me to palm wine. Love palm wine. And he introduced me to a lot of different foods and beaches and things like that, and all of that was fun. You know what I mean? Like, but a relationship is more than palm wine. A relationship is more than food. A relationship is more than beaches or parks. It's more than just hand holding and fun. It's more than that. It has to be. Like, do you want kids? Like, do you want kids? I've seen, and I'll use the same person as an example. Like, I love kids. Like, these little kids would come up to me, and oh my gosh, they were so beautiful. They were so beautiful. They have that dark skin and just like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. And he would shoo them away. Like it was a couple of little boys. They came up to me and they were following me. And I was just like, turning around, I was like talking to them. And the one, he was like gesturing like he was hungry. And so, I was telling him I didn't have any food, but I had water. So I was giving him my water, and my friend, he was looking at me like, don't give him your water, and that really and that really kind of turned me off because I was thinking, but he's thirsty. Like, why would you not, like, he's your kinfolk, or he's a Ghanaian, like he's a little child Ghanaian. And so why wouldn't you have more compassion on him than I have compassion on him? So that kind of turned me off. So my point with that is that unless to be agreed, how can they walk together? So if my heart is to, if I had food, I would have given it to him. If I had extra water, I would have given it to him. But if that's not my partner's heart, then why is that? Like, we're not in agreement.